want candy. Da da na na na. I want candy. Da 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 da. I want candy. Da 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 da. I want candy. Da da na na na. Got everything that I desire. Oh yeah, I hope you screenshot it. Take a look for yourself. Don't take my word for it. No, 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 no. I want candy. Da, 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 da. I want candy. Da, da, da. Oh, fuck. Oh, baby. We're going to go make a copy. We're going to go take a copy down to City Hall, put it on the bulletin board so they can take it down. And then we can sue them. Sue them again. Why not? Right? So, yeah, everybody check it out. I want candy. Da, na, 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 na. I want candy. This paper's got everything my heart desires. Da, 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 da. You guys know that song by Aaron Carter, I Want Candy? That's the song. That's the fucking song in my head right now. I want candy. Da 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 da. I want candy. Da. Oh fuck. All these people are gonna kill me, Lord. Please protect me. Please protect me from these people. Because they're man, they are fucking fighting evil, man. You gotta laugh a little bit. You gotta enjoy a little bit of it. You know, fuck, man. Jeez, oh Pete, you know. It took me like a year, man, to get this order, right? I mean, fuck. Woo! Been a long time coming, guys. Been a long time coming. So, yeah, we're here to inform the public about the city of Wayne. Oh, fuck. Let me tell you about the city of Wayne, everybody. Set out, it's gonna be a minute. We got some. Oh, man. Oh, fuck. I love it, though. I secretly, I hate it and I love it, man. I mean, I love getting abused, right? Stockholm Syndrome, I guess. That's what they call it, ain't it? Stockholm Syndrome. Yeah, I definitely have Stockholm Syndrome, no doubt. No doubt about it, man. But, yeah, we're here at City Hall, as always, at the old City of Wayne City Hall, because it's something you have to tell them twice. Big Dog 1256, what up, though? Big Dog. At least your name ain't. So I used to play on PlayStation Network, PS4 back in the day a little bit, and I had a COD. He was in my squad, right? His name was Jizz Dog, right? Jizz Dog. So that was quite an interesting name for that. You know, even online, right? Jizz Dog. Oh yeah, I play video games. I don't play so much anymore. I've been meaning to get back into it, but no, I haven't played in a minute. But I do need to quit being a little bitch, right? So maybe the money that I was gonna spend to pay the city of Wayne, maybe I can use that money. What was on that paper? This is a order granting and commanding the preservation of evidence, right? So the judge in this has stated that he anticipates a federal lawsuit in this case. So pretty nice little letter. Here, I'll let you, I'll put it up again so you can take a screenshot. So you can take a screenshot of it. Yeah, this is what we went to court today over. So, order to preserve record. So there's a really nice statement in this. Yeah, get a good look at that. So one of the statements in here Custodian declarations, affidavits from records custodians and the prosecutor attesting to completeness of the production and retention efforts. So in other words, if we don't get what's demanded in this, right? If we don't, well, granting and commanding the preservation of evidence. So if this isn't followed to a T, exactly to a T, then it'll be a big old problem for the city of Wayne, Michigan. But let me get in here before they close, before they lock up. But let's grab some thumbtacks here. We got a handful of thumbtacks. Not that we're going to use the thumbtacks for anything, out of the ordinary, other than to hang up papers, right? Because we want to make sure, again, that the people of Wayne, your tax dollars are, defending this and prosecuting this. And so we want the people of Wayne, Michigan to be made aware of, what their so-called elected leaders are doing with their money, right? We want the very fine people of Wayne, Michigan to know where their money's being spent and how it's being spent and what it's being utilized for. So yeah, we did have a little victory today, of course. So as you guys can see, Veterans Haven's still up there with the, they changed this. This used to say something else right here. It used to say you had to get the clerk's approval, permission. But then when I brought that up, then they changed it. But yeah, Veterans Haven. So you see Veterans Havens on there, which that would be considered viewpoint discrimination. That's in violation of the Due Process Clause of the Constitution. The Constitution, as you guys know, is the supreme law of our land, and the Constitution guarantees due process, equal protection under the law, the Equal Protection Clause. And, we're hanging out with our friends here, of course, as always, at the very fine City of Wayne City Hall, because you have to tell someone it's a city twice or they wouldn't know. But yeah, it looks like because we obviously don't want to touch anybody's property, which of course we won't. But we'll hang these up, I guess, kind of at the bottom here. I know they'll probably take them down within a matter of minutes, I'm sure. But this is just for really for evidence sake, right? So as you can see, what I had previously put, it was over here. That's been subsequently removed. That's been gone for a while. So we're just documenting for the record, of course. But yeah, we want to make sure that the people of Wayne, Michigan are up to date.
Yeah, this isn't more public use. This is
Oh, well, it was though.
right here.
You
See
changed.
this right here?
You changed
See
that
this?
though.
Can you read that right there?
I
This
can
bulletin
read.
board
I
is
can
for
read.
internal use only.
That was changed though.
So if you put anything up, I'll take it down.
Okay.
Just let me know.
Well, that's viewpoint discrimination.
Okay.
That's a violation of.
Thank you. I'm just letting you know,
It's
this
called
will be-
equal
this will be
protection.
used to inform the-
Yeah, equal protection clause though.
Yeah,
So if you allow
it's
private
going to be a
businesses,
Positive community event.
Veteran Havens is a
Positive
business.
community event.
Okay, so what's not positive though?
Positive
Does it say
community-
positive on here? Does the word positive exist on here? It does not. So you can't discriminate viewpoint. You're not the arbitrator of what's positive and what's negative, and there's nothing negative about the people of Wayne knowing where their tax dollars are going. We pay some of the highest property taxes, some of the highest municipal taxes in this county. And, there's a reason why we pay it. One of the reasons why is because the city of Wayne gets itself involved with frivolous prosecutions, malicious prosecutions, lawsuits that really any municipality that had any sort of competent leadership, they would actively avoid it, but not the city of Wayne. Because like I said, sometimes you got to eat crow, guys. Sometimes you're wrong and you're mistaken. And, the best course of action is to admit that you're wrong and to apologize and move on. But the city of Wayne, Michigan is simply incapable of doing that. As you can see with our encounter with the city clerk, Tina Parnell, just there,
She just said she'll violate my First Amendment right. So we're gonna reposition all of these bulletin board, exhibits or whatever. This is the order from today from the judge that the court, that Wayne desperately wanted me to, they wanted to keep my case in front of this judge so bad. I guess they figured they had like a home field advantage of sorts. And I guess the judge has had enough of their chicanery. And so, I'm just letting people be made aware of it. I want people to be made aware of what's going on and, why your taxes are so high and why morale in the city of Wayne is so low. I mean, I can give you countless and countless examples, but it comes down simply to our leadership, right? To Tina Parnell, as you just saw, right? She's actively involved in the city of Wayne administration here. And, that's just the kind of mentality that we see on a day basis, right? From our public servants. We don't seem to get, what would you call it? Servant leadership, right? We don't seem to get that out of our, I guess, leadership here, right? We get the opposite of servant leadership. We get talked down to and told that our opinions don't matter, because apparently this isn't positive community news, because I didn't see the word positive community news bulletin board. And of course, the government can't decide what's positive and what's negative, right? So if you're going to allow a private business like Veterans Haven to advertise, right? If you're going to allow those people to advertise on this bulletin board, then that proves that this is an open public forum, right? And you can change this all you want. Here, I'll even do you guys a solid here. I'll even add a couple more thumbtacks to what you guys did here. I'll acknowledge it. You guys changed it, which again, just because you put something on the bulletin board here doesn't make it valid. But I'll put a couple more thumbtacks in it, for you. So there you go. I'll put a couple green ones. Green means go, right? Last time I checked. But yeah. So she, as you guys heard, she said she's going to take it down, and I will come back tomorrow, and I'm going to take her at her word. I'm going to assume that she will take it down. I have no reason to not think she will. But yeah, you have a good night, ma'am. Take care. You're welcome. Not mad at you guys. I hope I don't ever inconvenience you guys. I got no issue with you guys.
I'm sorry.
I said I ain't got no issue with any of you ladies who work here.
Okay.
It's just the administration. I know that, you guys are just doing what, you're told. And
It's a day's work.
yeah, I know. Not mad at you at all. I appreciate you. So if I've ever inconvenienced you, I do apologize. So I'm not trying to come in. I'm not coming here to dox nobody. I just got my own issues with the city I'm trying to figure out. But thank you. I appreciate you. Yep. You too now. So there you have it, folks. There you have it. We have our, we have done our what did Finley Carter call it? We've done our right thing for the day, right? We've informed the populace, and we've given them the full, unredacted, unedited, and the truth, right? I mean, just the truth. This sucks. I'm going to fold my socks. Cast Blast 1989. Well, have fun with that, buddy. Have fun with it. You should play Madden. I used to play Madden, dude. I used to be really good. I was top 1,000 in the world on Madden for PS4. I don't know. It was Madden. I don't know. It's been a while. Maybe Madden 18, 19, something like that. Yeah, I was pretty good at Madden back in the day. I used to run the football, play really good defense, run the clock out, get people pissed off. I used to do that, real good at that. As you can tell, I'm really good at pissing people off, apparently. I don't know why. Like I said, I'm not saying anything untrue. I'm not defaming anybody. I'm just, showing you the court order that I received today, right? I had to go to court, waste my whole day in court, inconvenience myself. And like I said, I'm all about transparency, accountability, and we just want transparency. We just want transparency, and we just want what's right and what's fair. We don't want our money wasted and squandered, and innocent people abused, and abusive legal process, and weaponizing the legal system against somebody, and this and that. Like, we most Americans, right, outside of like maybe Dennis Danielson and like Larry Golan or whatever, most people don't want what the city of Wayne is offering. Most people, quite frankly, are repulsed by what the city of Wayne does. And so, again, I'm just doing what the people want. I'm a populist. I believe in freedom, the Constitution, and being able to say whatever the fuck you want, right? So if you want to, call someone a horrible name, you can call them a horrible name. If you want to, if you want to bang their wife and their wife consents to it, well, then you have the right to bang their wife. I mean, it's whatever you want it to be, right? This is Burger King. And so I believe that governance should be for the people, by the people, and, for the people, by the people. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So simple as that. For the people, by the people. So right now, I don't feel that we currently have that offered in Wayne, Michigan. And I've always been told, if you can't if you can't beat them, join them. And if you can't, you can't vote your way out of a problem, then, run to become the solver of the problems, right? Solve the problem, right? So if you can't do something, if you can't vote your way out of it, then you got to run yourself, right? So that is basically, in a nutshell, what we're doing. And again, we're not trying to stir up shit. We're not trying to harass anybody or threaten anybody or intimidate. Certainly not. We're not trying to do that to anybody. But we are going to relentlessly pursue the truth, and if that means that we're going to have to fall on the sword from time to time, then that's what we'll do. And if we slip and make a mistake and make a fool of ourselves, then we're going to get down and we're going to get back up and we're going to start all over again. And we're going to keep doing it until we get it right. So again, Tina Parnell, you can take down whatever you want. Positive community news, I mean, again, that sounds like viewpoint discrimination. That's unfettered discretion, right? That's unbridled discretion, unfettered discretion. Positive community news. Well, I would make the argument that exposing corruption and scandals is positive, right? Because taxpayers fund these buildings and these operations, and they fund your job, right? And so I think that is positive. I think it's positive when the truth comes out, regardless of what the truth is. I think it's positive when freedom, just like Don Quarles said, right? Do your own research, right? Do your own research. And so we're just giving people the information so they can do their own research, right? Because nobody outside of a crook would be opposed to more information, right? More information is always good, and especially when that information comes directly from, a true copy, a certified true copy from the court. Well, again, we want to, we like transparency, we like accountability, we like, all of that shit. So, we want that. We don't want, to live in a city. Everything's a secret, everything's hush hush, don't talk about this, don't discuss that, don't say that, we don't want to live like that. We don't want to live walking on eggshells. We want to be able to freely, without restraint, and without having our speech being chilled, right? Without being chilled, right? It's kind of like, it's the same concept of like, icing the kicker, right? At the end of the game, right? Before they go and kick the field goal, you ice them, you call a timeout, and you make them you're trying to psych them out, basically. And so that's essentially what chilling somebody's speech is. It's, a little bit more insidious because you're actively trying to prevent them from doing something that they have a right to do or engage in, right? Which is what the city of Wayne has done repeatedly over and over to me. I've engaged in, constitutionally protected activity, and I've been prosecuted for it. I've been retaliated for it. I've been vindictively and maliciously prosecuted, for it. And so, for Zook Pond, as well as my other political activities in the city of Wayne, right? So, it is interesting, right? And then you're, told by the city clerk that she's going to take down information. You're not cursing. You're not saying something, that's not factual. I'm just simply trying to keep the public informed, right? And, not everybody has internet access. Not everybody has a computer or, a smartphone that has, data. And so that might be for maybe a person that's a little bit older, or maybe they're not so in the loop, so to speak. Maybe they don't have Facebook or something. And, that bulletin board is a venue so that way they can get, community news, right? And so I live in the community. I'm a person. I'm a real person. And I have a business in Wayne called Disabled Vet Source, where we, build pond ecosystems, and we, give out, clothing and shoes and whatnot to, disabled veterans or veterans that have been impacted by poverty or natural disasters or, just inflation, right? I mean, so we try to help those people out as much as we possibly can. And, I don't know, I find it kind of shocking, really, that the city would classify that as not positive community news, right? I mean, I think everything that we do here is positive. I think now I do like to showcase I don't edit any videos. This is all off the cuff. And the part of the reason for that is I'm kind of lazy, and editing videos, it's a lot of work, and but more importantly, I think that is counter narrative to the message that I'm trying to promote, right? Which is transparency, accountability, transparency in real time, right? And unedited, uncensored, on everything. And so I feel that this is the best format to do that, and this is the best way to do that and to showcase that. And sometimes we are going to slip. Sometimes we're going to have bad days, and we're going to say things that we probably don't really mean, or things that we're just upset, we're angry, we're venting, right? I mean, as you guys know, veterans have some pretty horrific health care in this country. And so, like me and countless other veterans, so a lot of people don't know this, but the VA has made individual one-on-one therapy, that's no longer the standard of care for veterans in this country. The standard of care is group therapy, right? And so if you're lucky, you'll get some group therapy, which I don't do well with, which most people don't, from my understanding, from my experience. So essentially, for many veterans, we don't have mental health care, right, at all. And, TRICARE is really bad. TRICARE sucks. Medicare sucks. A lot of places just any of the good providers really don't take it anymore. And then, so that leaves many veterans, like if they even have TRICARE, which most veterans don't. I'm one of the lucky ones that does. But also, we can't, really get in and get mental health care, or even physical care for that matter, because the VA is so booked out for months and months and months. And community care, same thing, it's booked out months and months, right? So even though the Mission Act exists, and we on paper have a right to go to the community to get health care and treatment, what actually happens in reality is just, unfortunately, we have laws that Congress passes, but the execution of those laws sometimes leave a bit to be desired, we'll say. And that means a lot of veterans, such as myself, among probably hundreds of thousands, if not millions of others. Certainly historically, there's been millions of veterans that have been utterly failed by this country, by the VA, by the system, and so the military healthcare system in general. So yeah, I mean, needless to say, this is just the reality of malicious prosecution, right? When you maliciously prosecute a disabled veteran, somebody who the city of Wayne has conceded. They say I have mental health problems and I'm spiraling and all this and that. Well, this is the reality, right, of going through a malicious prosecution, right, as a disabled veteran, as somebody with a traumatic brain injury, as a combat veteran, somebody with a traumatic brain injury. I want to showcase to the world the reality, right? The reality is that, yes, this has been a very traumatic, traumatizing, eye-opening, life-altering experience for me, right? I will never be the same person after enduring what I've had to endure. And it was months of hell, months and months and months of hell, and it seemed like there was never going to be an end to it in sight. And I just kept praying, and I just kept hoping, and I just kept fighting. And I've made some leeway, but it's really a consolation prize, guys. I mean, to be maliciously prosecuted and to have to go through what I went through, and then the judge says, "Oh, we'll vacate the probation, we'll terminate that, and you don't have to pay any money." But the sentence still the sentence still stands, right? The no contest, disorderly conduct, plea, disposition. That's still in effect, right? So it's really a consolation prize, right? I mean, the bottom line is I was peacefully existing on my property on May 9th. On May 10th, I simply called to redress my grievances, violated my rights, ratified the violation of my rights, and that was criminalized. And of course, I was charged with interference when it wasn't even possible that I could have interfered, because no valid ordinance even existed that outlawed the conduct that I was engaged in. And so there wasn't even a plausible allegation that I committed a crime, let alone committing a crime, right? And then, of course, I was arrested and charged with interference before interference could actually occur, right? Before the city made any attempt to extinguish the fire pit, I was charged with interference before I could even interfere, right? So, you combine all this together, and then it's like everything after that becomes a consolation prize. Hell, even a bunch of money, even a fucking mountain of money is a consolation prize, because the damage has been done, right? And so this is the grim reality, right? When you put disabled veterans, when you back us into corners, any human being, right, for this matter, would act the same way. But, for somebody like me, right, who the city has conceded that I have PTSD and other, as they call mental health issues or challenges, which I'm not refuting that. But why is it that the city and they still choose to engage in malicious prosecution and vindictive prosecution? Well, that's where I'm going to make the argument that it's intentional infliction of emotional distress, right? This person has, mental health or has had a traumatic life, and, has a cluster B personality per se, and, these things, or you suspect these things, you've alleged these things, and the city of Wayne chooses to prosecute me under a law that doesn't exist, right? And misrepresent material facts to the court, and then not hand over material, critical discovery so I can defend myself. So, it's really shocking, man. I mean, it's really, like I said, I don't know what the city of Wayne thought they were going to do, how they were going to sweep this under the rug, but it really just goes to show, what these municipalities, what they're willing to do, how low they're willing to go. Because these people will stop at nothing, man. To get a victory, right? To get a W, right? Even if they have to burn the whole fucking city down to get it, they'll, do whatever they can to make sure that they win, right? That they get a plea or a global resolution, right? And it's just the whole thing, man. It's, I've exposed Carolyn Miller and Michael Bosnick and the city of Wayne for what they are, right? I exposed them, and I continue to expose them, and the city of Wayne continues to violate my rights. I have a right to use this bulletin board because, based off the fact that there's Veterans Haven, right, posted, right, that shows that they don't have an issue with certain content, right, and certain content's allowed, certain content is not. And of course, there's no objective standards, there's no nothing, right? Well, what do you call positive news versus impositive news, right? Like, what's the definition? Do we have a working definition of what positive news is, right? And then, of course, positivity, well, that's all in the eyes of the beholder, right? What you might find to be positive, right? If you're a Republican on January 6th of 2020 and they storm the Capitol, right? Well, that would be a positive event. Well, if you're a Democrat, it wouldn't be so positive. So, it all is viewpoint based, right? Viewpoint discrimination, and it's all about your perspective, right? So I don't buy the argument, but that's the argument that's the city of Wayne, because that's not hearsay. That person is acting in their official duties on the clock. Tina Parnell just did, and she said that she's going to take it down. So she's admitting that she's going to violate my rights. So she's admitted that she's the one who's been, deciding what information is allowed and not allowed on that bulletin board. So she's conceded to that she has indeed been the one who's been removing my post off the bulletin board. And so I don't know. I think Tina, I think she needs to be drug tested at this point. I think she might be drinking the sauce, because it's obvious that there's people in the city of Wayne that are, worried about me, and they claim they're worried about my mental health, but really that's just a lie. They're really more worried about being uncovered, right? They're really worried about that order, and of course I'm going to pursue that order, and I'm going to bring that to the federal court's attention. And I suspect two things are going to happen. Either we're going to get our full discovery, but I don't believe that. I don't have any faith in that based off my experiences with Wayne, based off the last 10 months or so. I don't have any faith in that based off these FOIA lawsuits that I have ongoing. I got 2 more I got to file. Right. So, no, I don't have any faith. And I don't believe too that the city of Wayne even has a lot of this information. I think that they've made certain that they don't have it. So I suspect that I have a hunch that the city's just gonna maybe they'll want to talk settlement now. Maybe the city of Wayne will decide that they would rather pay the money and not release the information than to pay the money, or than to release the information. So it really comes down to a value judgment on their end, right? I mean, if they think paying a settlement and squashing it is more advantageous than releasing that discovery, then we'll see, right? We'll see. But now that order's been, now that we have the order in our hand, we gotta talk ball now, right? So I don't know. I'm willing to talk. If they're willing to talk, I'm willing to talk. Only in good faith, of course. I'm not going to entertain some, bad faith nonsense, right? If the city of Wayne wants to give me a good faith offer, then yeah, we can avoid all this. Otherwise I have to file my complaint, right? Because I definitely have, merit to file a complaint, right? A 1983 Monell against the city of Wayne from May 9th onward, right? Until February, I guess, whatever, when this case, I guess today, March 19th, is when the case was, I guess, formally resolved, I guess, right? So, yeah, from May 9th, 2025 to March 19th of 2026, right? So basically 10 months worth of information has been ordered to be preserved, and of course we can file a complaint. We already have it drafted, most of it. There's more to add to it now. It just never ends, man. It just never fucking ends with these people, man. And so we're gonna again, to the board, start our legal research, start drafting our motions, right? I mean, this is not up a notch. I've got to turn it up a few notches, and I really got to be thorough going forward, because I have an excellent case. I have excellent facts on my side, and this order just kind of rips the whole butthole wide open here. So obviously time consuming, complicated, costly, expensive, and I mean, at this point it's almost certain that I would be awarded at minimum attorney fees and costs incurred to have to defend this, right? And since I'm pro se, that would be that all the money and time I would get paid basically what an entry level, what the minimum lawyer would get paid, right? So I got to get paid for my time.
defending this and, filing this complaint, for being the victim of what I was the victim of, false incarceration, false imprisonment, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, with all of that being said, I'm willing to forgive and, forget, so to speak, with just compensation. I'm willing to be reasonable. I'm willing to be flexible, and if the city of Wayne is willing to engage in such discussions, right? You can record it. We can live stream. We can do whatever you want, guys. If you guys want to record it, we'll record it. I'll live stream it, right? That way, there's no misinterpretation of what was said, right? So if you guys want to do that, we can do that. Because like I said, I'm all about transparency. I mean, I have literally nothing to hide. If you guys want to come to the mayor's mansion and take a stroll, check out Zook Pond when it's complete. Not the city of Wayne, of course. You're not welcome. Anyone administratively in the city of Wayne is not welcome. But people of Wayne, as long as you're not a bootlicker and you don't have any hostility towards me, yeah, you can come check out the pond. Absolutely, you can check out the mayor's mansion. You can take a tour. We're all about transparency. I can show you, where I draft my motions, where I work out of, and everything, and then some. Do you ever play GTA 5? I've played it before. Are you on your way to catch some chipmunks? Well, no, not really. Not really. I'm gonna go pick up some people from Lyft, maybe, but I gotta go drop off some firewood. I got a couple face cords that I still have to give, and I don't have really the vehicle to do it, but it's right down the road. I'll make 3 or 4 trips if I got to, and we're gonna do the damn thing. Anything to not fold socks. Good to see you back in men's clothing. Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it's good, Yeah, I like to wear women's clothing from time to time. I am hermaphrodite, as you guys know. Transsexual, all that good stuff. So, officially listed as a female on my U.S. passport, but I've sired 2 children. So, I don't know how that works, but it worked. So, and if you question it, you're a racist, bigot, homophobe. So. That's just what it is, guys. And so we are back. We're going to get some firewood loaded up into this 2025 Toyota Camry LE, and yeah, we're gonna do the damn thing, because I got to make a couple $100 today, so I can use it to, well, you guys will see what I'll be using it for. I'll be using it all right. So it's gonna be great. That Great Clips slogan. It's gonna be great. Yeah. Well, that's my slogan. Status quo, eat crow, baby. Status quo, eat crow. That is the mantra. That is the victory chant. When the city of Wayne eats crow for what they did to me and my family, apologizes and gives us just compensation, then maybe we can all be friends and move forward amicably, right? So, if that's what you guys want, then I'm all for it. But I don't know. Maybe you guys can ask Daddy John Racy if he's willing and ready to talk business, right? See if old Mike Bosnick, Carrie Miller, if she wants to avoid a malicious prosecution, we'll say smidge on her record, right? So she wants to avoid that. Mike Bosnick wants to avoid it, and the city of Wayne, Brita O'Leary, and the city council want to avoid the embarrassment and the humiliation of this case.
then yeah, let's talk, guys. Let's talk. And if we can't come to an agreement, then we go and try the facts in front of a trier of facts, right? And see what's going on here. So I don't think anybody wants that, but if we don't get if these people don't start acting like adults, then we don't have a choice. I mean, we have to, try the facts and see where it takes us. So where to get those glasses? Oh, these glasses, these Ray-Bans, if you want them, $200, you can have them. But I got these at VisionWorks. I got these at VisionWorks. So they're sunglasses, but I had them converted into just regular prescription glasses. But they're a sunglass frame. How much are they? Like 200 and something. I think 250, something like that. Yeah, they're nice sunglasses. But I used them. I wanted to have them for my regular glasses and different. Yeah, this part right here, I know I'm gonna get some sort of a fucking tan line, right, with this right here. I'm gonna have it's gonna be all pale, right here, or it's gonna be pale right here where the black is, and then it's gonna be all dark, and then you're gonna have a fucking spot right. So yeah, I was thinking about even maybe just getting that tattooed, so if it fills it in, so when I'm wearing them, you can't see it. No, I ain't gonna do that. That's fucking crazy, but. I don't know, guys. We're just gonna enjoy the day, get this firewood delivered, hang out with the kiddos, hang out with the wife. Might even hop on top of my wife tonight. How about that, guys? How about that? I think I've earned it. So, yeah, again, it's real unfortunate what has transpired, and I wish it could have been different. I'm not in the wrong in any of this. I never was. And not to say I'm a perfect person and I don't make mistakes and I'm never, forced to eat crow, but yeah, this whole thing is just it's just because they really just don't want to music, man, which I get it, but I mean it's like it's not like they're gonna face prison time, right? It's not like they're gonna get what they really deserve for what they did. So I mean, what, civil case, got paid a little money, maybe you get a slap on the wrist, maybe the AGC gives you a slap on the wrist, maybe you get reprimanded, maybe you lose, maybe you get suspended for a few months, right? But ultimately, damn well that Kerry Miller, Michael Bosnick, and Brito O'Leary, and everyone involved, right, with this, they're not gonna face any criminal charges for it. Officer Jay Sermon's not gonna face criminal charges for assaulting me on May 19th. So I mean, it's unlikely. July 10th, when I had my ass beat by 3 Wayne police officers, had elbows and knees in my neck, and choked and slammed and punched in the side of the head from behind with handcuffs improvised as brass knuckles. Yeah, I mean, I doubt that anyone's ever going to face any criminal charges for what they did, and no one's going to lose their freedom apparently over what they did. So I don't know. I don't understand. Just pay the money, guys, and be done with it. And I think it's just they're incapable. I think these people are just constitutionally incapable of admitting that they're wrong, that they were wrong, that they are wrong. I don't know. I mean, at this point, the evidence speaks for itself, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I know it'll be interesting either way. I know it'll have some twists and turns, and what can I do? What can I say other than a bay? Maybe. Well, let's see here, guys.
see what we got here. We got some runts. We got sour tangy. We got rainbow belts. And we got Tropicana. So I think we're gonna go with sour tangy. Sour tangy is pretty good. Yeah, we'll shoot the shit with you guys for a minute more, but what else is going on? What else is new, guys? What else is new in the neighborhood? Kenyon Wright, 1476. Jacob, what is it? Jacob Stin, 1429. Lil Lincoln Health. Lil Lincoln Health. Cast Blast, 1989. Ford 42 Computer, Jacoby Z3L or Z31. Killjoy, Jay Martinez, 1527. Big Dog, 1256. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Appreciate you guys supporting the channel, supporting the cause, right? We're gonna hopefully go check on Josh Abrams. We need to pull up on him in Massachusetts and pay him a visit and see what the fuck he's up to. See what that old piece of shit's up to. Our old piece of shit friend Josh Abrams, piece of shit, motherfucker, shitbag, motherfucker. We love you, Josh Abrams. We love you more than I love this Tangy Power right here. Right? This Tangy Power. Shout out to Shop Moto and Bogota, Colombia. Shout out to them, my people at Shop Moto in Bogota, Colombia. There's several of them in Bogota. I don't remember which street exactly, the one I'm referring to, but or Park Motos. Is it Park Motos? I think it's Park Motos. Shop Motos, Park Motos. One of the two. But yeah, really big marijuana dispensary out there in Bogota, Colombia. Kind of cool, nice place, good people. Shout out to them, Bogota, Colombia. I'll be back there, guys. I'll be back to Bogota here soon. I gotta get away for at least a fucking month, right? I need a month of vacay, at least a month. Kerry Miller went on vacation during my case. Jermaine Warwick did. Well, I need to as well. It's my turn. So this is a Victory Fatty. Tangy Power. Tangy Power, baby. So yeah, I don't know what's the good news, guys. We got several more lawsuits, man. We got to file before we even get to this Big Dog lawsuit. Honestly, I mean, we got to continue the fight. I mean, there's not a settlement that they're going to offer me anyways, and it's all wishful thinking, because again, these people are constitutionally incapable of being honest. So we'll see. We will see. Because it would probably be cheaper for the city of Wayne to just ignore this discovery order and just continue to, do whatever they want. It's probably cheaper, right? Cost of doing business, right? So, yeah, I don't know, guys, but we'll be in touch. We'll be in touch with you. I'll keep you posted. Money, 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 baby. Money, money, money. Money, money, money. Big money, no whammies. Let's go and stop. Oh, shit. Double whammy, baby. Double whammy. Yeah. I'm not gonna have fun. Not gonna have fun with these wheelbarrows. I gotta push these wheelbarrows up the hill. Oh, yeah, let me show you. I'll show you. I'll show you instead of trying to make you visualize. I'll show you, motherfucker. I'll show you what I mean. But, yeah, I mean, I think that Pro Se is gonna be the name of the game for a lot of people in the future. I think a lot of people. I think it's fair. It's more fair as Pro Se. You certainly get to be a lot more actively involved, right? Because you're supposed to be actively involved regardless, but I think the courts try to, the prosecutor, the courts, and the public defense, it all kind of benefits them for you to not be engaged and for you to just let your lawyer work for you, right? Yeah, it's kind of, I think the whole thing's a sham, to be honest. I think it's all a sham. I think they don't want you representing you. I mean, yeah, obviously if you're looking at murder charge or something, but I mean, honestly, I think my case shows you that, pro se is sometimes the only way to go. I mean, sometimes the only way you can win, right? The only way you can make any headway is by representing yourself. I mean, if you can't find an attorney willing to do what needs to be done, then I guess if you can't find someone to do something for you, you got to do it yourself, right? So, I mean, I guess that's true for the law too. So, I don't know. All I know is the weather's warming up and it's a great day to petition. It's a great day to get my signatures. 25 to 50 signatures, huh? All right. That's all you need me to get, huh? That's it, guys? Okay. I wonder whose seat I'm going to be running for. I don't know. I know some of them aren't running again. I know they're done with this shit. It ain't worth the money. They thought it was gonna be a cake little $5,000 a year, guys. Just gonna cake and cruise and make a little money and be able to do what I want. And, yeah, how's that working out for you guys? How's that working out for you? Yeah, Darwich. Yeah, he was gonna be the change that Wayne needed, huh? Darwich, fuck. He's too busy working out, posing for his gym photos, right? Too busy on Instagram posing for the gram, right? Making some gay fucking motivational quotes and shit instead of actually working, because working out in an air-conditioned gym, right? Rob Darwich, working out in an air-conditioned gym and posting motivational, workout quotes, many of which you didn't come up with on your own. So, yeah, that's not real work, right? It's working out, it's healthy, glad you're doing it, but that's not doing shit for the city of Wayne. And it seems to me that's all he knows how to do is work out and post videos of it. And working out and posting YouTube videos is not working for the city of Wayne. Now, talking about issues, bringing issues to light,
getting people interested, engaging with people. Now that would be work, right? But he doesn't use his platform to do that. He uses his platform to promote the Hype Center because he's the manager of the Hype Center, and just so get better, more favorable contracts and events and all that, right? Well, it's not really helping the city of Wayne. Having a boxing event, right? Isn't really helping the city of Wayne. I mean, it's causing brain damage to the people that are partaking in it. I'm sure people are getting drunk and consuming alcohol and marijuana and other substances while they're watching it, right? So, I don't know. I mean, is brain damage good for the city of Wayne, right? I mean, I would say probably not, right? I'd say probably not. I mean, it's fun. It's a sport, boxing, MMA, all that, right? I'm not saying it should be outlawed, but I mean, if that's what you're doing, I don't think it's really, I don't know. I just don't think it's really propelling us forward in any meaningful way, right? I've never heard one smart thing, anything that suggests wisdom, or I've never seen it from the city of Wayne. I've never seen a single person involved with the city of Wayne ever say anything with a modicum of intelligence since I've lived in Wayne. Now, I can't say previously, I can't say for sure, right? As far as like what, before I got to Wayne, I can't really speak on, but it doesn't sound like there was much going on before I arrived in town. And what I've seen thus far from, I guess, anyone who goes to city council meetings regularly, we'll put it that way, I haven't been impressed with any of them. And I'm not saying this like to be mean. I'm just like, I genuinely don't understand how out of 5,550 households that this is the best we got. This is our hope, right? This is our, no, it's just not, no. So I can't let it go on. I can't let it continue, guys. I can't sit back and do nothing and say nothing. And I just can't do it. I mean, I wish I could. I wish I had the ability to just be like, yup, whatever, fuck you, pay me. And, I wish I was able to just not let it bother me and to just be like, yup, take the settlement and bounce. But I couldn't live with myself, guys. I really couldn't. I mean, it's just, sometimes God puts certain things in your life that you got to take it. You got to capitalize on it, right? I mean, if the universe, right? I mean, if the universe is going to put something in front of you that is just so unique or so unheard of, right? Something that just once in a lifetime, once in a million, I mean, you're kind of obligated to take it, right? Right? I mean, if somebody donates $1 million to your charity and says spend the money for good, you kind of owe it to that person to take the $1 million, and you're obligated, right? So it's kind of like how I feel about this whole thing. I just feel like I was gifted. In a way, I was gifted this, right, by God and by the universe, but it was something that I could have taken the first plea that I got, or first offer. I could have not brought up issues. I could have just cowered in fear and went along to get along, and I'm sure things in the short term would have been better. I mean, as far as like, it would have been less stressful for sure. But when something's wrong, when something ain't right, when something isn't proper, and you can prove it, well, I just can't. And now that I know, that the city of Wayne isn't just negligent, but they're culpable, right? That they're deliberately negligent. which isn't negligence at that point. If you deliberately do it, then it's malice and it's conspiracy and it's a coordinated effort, right? It's no longer just so I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's just it's so tiresome. You got to decompress from it. But yeah, not bad though. Not bad. Not a bad day. Not a bad day. We'll go check in with you tomorrow, guys. We'll make a live stream tomorrow and see if they've Tina's taken down the stuff I posted on the bulletin board again, right? For this is I think the third time or the fourth time now. I'll have to look at my videos and my camera footage to see what exact dates, but we'll see. Maybe we can amend that into our current sign lawsuit. Just charge it under retaliation. Like, hey, you're not allowed to have a sign in your yard. You're also not allowed to post on a bulletin board at City Hall either. Before this, I wasn't allowed to go to City Hall. I had a gag order. I couldn't speak about things on the internet. Couldn't use social media to speak about the case. All this and that. And I was just vilified, right? Just vilified as some piece of shit, right? When I'm quite literally the best that this community has to offer. I mean, objectively speaking, myself and my family, we are, I'm not going to say the best thing since sliced bread to move to Wayne, but kinda. I mean, certainly we've contributed to Wayne already. We've cleaned up our property. We're cleaning it up further. We're community oriented. We help out our community. We give back to our community regularly, daily. It's not just lip service, right? We're not just paying lip service and thank you for your service, now get fucked, right? Which is awfully ironic, right? The city of Wayne is working to outlaw homelessness essentially out of Wayne, right? So that's, really, if you think about it, I mean, the irony couldn't be more insane. I mean, the people that are most likely to be homeless in America are veterans, right? And particularly those that have disabilities. So I find it odd that the city of Wayne wants to thank you for your service, whatever that's even supposed to mean at this point. And they want to thank you for your service while outlawing veterans that are homeless out of their community. So it's literally the city of Wayne city ordinance. The city council has made it basically made it illegal to be poor in Wayne. If you're too poor in Wayne and you don't have anywhere to go and you have to sleep in the park or sleep outside or I mean, imagine how horrible that must be, especially in this weather, right? To have to sleep outside in Michigan. During January, February, March, the weather here is so crazy. Any fucking day, any month is crazy. So imagine just having to sleep outside. You're already homeless. You're already poor. You're already on the brink of, basically death, right? And the city of Wayne has passed vagrancy laws, essentially outlawing being homeless. You can't sleep in public no more, right? So you can't sleep at the park. So can't sleep on a sidewalk, and they'll say, oh well, we got to keep Wayne clean, and I agree, but outlawing homelessness doesn't fix homelessness, and it certainly doesn't help veterans. Best British accent ready, go. Albino Rhino 1313. Yeah, I'll do that in a minute. Let me finish my thought here. Fuck, man, you made me lose my thought here, buddy. But yeah, I mean, you're outlawing homelessness. You're outlawing being poor, right? It doesn't just make people not poor. It just makes you a criminal for being poor. So then they can fill their jails up with poor people, right? So, because everybody knows that these shelters are just, cleanly and
well organized, well run. You know, I mean, some of them are worse than being on the streets, right? I used to work at one that was so bad that, I mean, people would bring drugs in. I saw more drugs at homeless shelters than you see on Skid Row. Skid Row. I've been to LA. I've been to Skid Row, and I saw more drugs and homeless, you know, more drugs and filth and squalor and abuse at homeless shelters than I did on Skid Row. So you're like, okay. So if you can't be in a homeless shelter, or maybe you're a man, right? Maybe you're a male veteran, right? Maybe you had a drinking problem or something, you know, and you don't qualify for benefits, let's say, or maybe, you know, you never applied for them, or, you know, a lot of things happen. People fall through the cracks all the time in this country. And so, you know, a lot of veterans are homeless. You know, of the people that are most likely to be homeless are veterans, as a matter of fact. And so, essentially, you outlawed being a homeless veteran in Wayne, Michigan, while claiming you care about, while also claiming that you care about disabled veterans, right? Or general. So you'll thank veterans for their service. You'll have a memorial for them, but then you'll prosecute them under laws that don't exist and try to ruin their lives and outlaw. You know, if you're homeless and a veteran, you can't live in Wayne now. You can't even exist in Wayne. You can't sleep, right? So I guess you're just supposed to stay up until you collapse and die, right? So yeah, I don't know. I don't think criminalizing poverty is a viable strategy. And, you know, the fact that the city of Wayne was so eager to do it and, you know, just wanted to clap and clap and clap for it. How did I end up in Wayne? Good question. I'll get to your other question, albino, in a second. How did I end up in Wayne? So basically in 2023, I was looking to buy a home, right? I have VA loan, all that, and had some money saved up. And so because I had some money saved up, it kind of pushed me into, like, you know, higher range, I guess, right, of what I could afford. So basically my top end was $450,000. And so I was looking for a home that was between, you know, $200,000 to $450,000, 200 to 400, let's say. And so I was looking in the state of Michigan because that's where I'm from, and I like the state of Michigan as far as state benefits for veterans, right? The state of Michigan has very good benefits for veterans, particularly disabled veterans. And so Michigan is one out of, I believe, around 10 or so states, right, that have a complete property tax exemption for your homestead, for your principal homestead. So the state of Michigan has this exemption, right? Like Michigan, Oklahoma, Florida, New Jersey, New Mexico, I think I already said Oklahoma, Florida, Texas, I think maybe Wyoming. There's a couple other states that are very favorable to disabled veterans, to veterans in general. But some states are more, how do I say, more welcoming or more friendly for veterans, right? So certain states have like zero property taxes, right? Some states give you a credit. Some states just outright exempt the entirety of them. Some states give you, you don't have to pay any taxes on your vehicle registration, on your plate, right? So you don't have to pay property taxes if you buy a car, your first car, your primary vehicle, right? So like I go to Toyota, I don't have to pay the sales tax, right? Or certain states have, all sorts of benefits, right? Some states have free hunting licenses, fishing licenses. Some states will let you into all state parks for free. There's all sorts of benefits. Some states will allow your siblings to go to college for free, right? And so basically, out of all the 50 states in America, Michigan, Oklahoma, New Mexico, and Florida, those four kind of stand out above the rest as far as, I was looking for a few things, right? I was looking for
the property tax exemption, because, I don't believe in property taxes. I think it's a total sham. And, you know, given my status and, I didn't want to buy a house in a state where I would have to pay, property taxes, right? So, Michigan, I was familiar with, and it was in my budget. I didn't really want to live in Oklahoma. New Mexico, I was kind of, same thing. Florida, no, not really ready to go down there. Maybe vacation down there or something, but I didn't want to live down in Florida. So, I started looking in the state of Michigan, and there just wasn't much out there when I was searching. My wife and I were searching for a home, right? There just wasn't much out there. And what was out there was kind of shit. And, I decided I wanted to live in Metro Detroit because, I kind of wanted to be around all the action, and I wanted to be closer to Ann Arbor, Detroit, Lansing, the airport, all that. I just wanted to be downstate. I didn't want to be upstate. I didn't want to be up in northern Michigan. I wanted to be downstate, and so I was looking at properties, and there was this one, and there was one in Lake Orion. And the one in Lake Orion was about half of the land. The property was older. It was much old. It was a much older property. It was a lot less land, smaller house, no basement. I don't believe, or it might have had a basement. I think it had a basement. But they're about the same price, $400,000. And I had both houses inspected, the one in Lake Orion and then this one in Wayne. And the one in Wayne was much more, it was a newer house. It was built better, it had more land. I felt like it had more upside, even though, Lake Orion's a much nicer community than Wayne as far as higher property values and whatnot. I don't know. I mean, it was kind of like, do I want to be just a guppy in Lake Orion in a pretty much like a early 2000s subdivision, right? Or do I want to be the biggest fish in the smallest pond in Wayne? And the house I live next to is a replica of the Night Before Christmas house, and so a mansion, right? Pretty nice mansion and a nice property. So it was kind of like either live next to the Night Before Christmas mansion and have the newest house, or Lake Orion. And I didn't want to live that far up north because I felt like once you get up into once you get up into like a place like Lake Orion, you're pretty much at that point up north, pretty much. I mean, you're starting to get up north there. So I didn't want to do it, so I chose Wayne, and I guess the property taxes didn't matter because I'm exempt. So I just knew that with Wayne had more upside. It was a bigger lot. It had the other lot next to it, and so when I looked at it and I had it surveyed, I was like, well, I can put my forever home, my dream home. I can build my dream home, and I can have my guest house for my family, my wife's family, and to fund our operation here, right? So I was looking for extra rooms. I was looking for something with space. The more the merrier, right? And so this property was really the only game in town. I mean, there just simply wasn't no inventory when I was looking in 22 and 23. So we ended up with this, and then we, the John Zook Jr. murder happened in June of 24. City of Wayne murdered him, and around that time I had a surveyor come out and kind of look over the property, and one of the improvements he suggested to me and was he said, you definitely have enough space to put a pond here. He's like, you already kind of have one developing naturally. And I had just gotten aquatherapy prescription through my VA doctor, and so I was like, well, the City of Wayne doesn't have an indoor pool. At least during the warmer months I can utilize the pond, right? So I doctor gave me a prescription for aquatherapy. I started going, and then was like, well, fuck, I can make my own aquatherapy body of water. So, wetland improvement. I contacted the state of Michigan, Schlick Ponds out of Montrose, Michigan. They did all the paperwork for me through Eagle, and Eagle came out, did a couple permits, site inspections, wetland improvement permit, and they like the project. So we're trying to grow so they like the project, and they approved it, and the city of Wayne tried to obstruct it, and they were trying to obstruct it from day one. But yeah, once they knew that it was tied to me and Zook Pond, or John Zook, and of course, naming it Zook Pond is going to lead to the conversation of like, oh hey, well, what's up? Why is it called Zook Pond? Who's Zook, right? And then of course I'm going to have a sign out in front that has a QR code of the body worn camera where they murdered him, and this is how we got here. This is why we're here, because the city of Wayne likes to murder combat veterans in cold blood and cover it up, and then also claim that they care about veterans, right? That's the real irony. And then the same officer who murdered John Zook Jr. showed up in my backyard to harass, intimidate, and threaten me. And I don't know, it's all kind of interconnected in some weird way. And the same person who murdered John Zook Jr. is the same person who violated my rights over the pond. So I figured, well, it was appropriate to name it Zook Pond, so people don't forget, and people remember what the city of Wayne, like what the worst of the city of Wayne is capable of, right? What's the consequences of these policies, practices, protocols, customs, traditions, whatever you want to call it, procedures, right? Whatever term you want to use, non-laws, right? Policies, right? Not ordinances, right? But even the ordinances, right? Because the ordinances are written in such ways that they're just void for vagueness, and they're just slop, right? And if we lived in a fair system, the government would be punished, right? Sanctioned for passing these ordinances and for enforcing them. They shouldn't even be allowed to pass them, let alone to have them on the books so that they could weaponize them against people that they just don't particularly care for. So, that needs to be addressed in Wayne. We have the ability to address it in Wayne. We're not a big municipality, and it's a small city, and we can, gather and talk about the issues, and we can try some new things in Wayne, right? We can implement some new things at the court and at the city council and at the city hall, and just in the government in general. There's things that we can do that doesn't cost us money. Maybe it costs us a little time, a little bit of, planning, I guess, right? But fundamentally, it doesn't cost anything, and things that can be of great benefit to people, right? I think that the city of Wayne, the 29th District Court, for any ordinance, municipal violation, that automatically needs to be reviewed. Anytime there's a case where, we want to keep it at the local level and we don't want to bind it over to the circuit court, well, that, first of all, needs to be heavily scrutinized. But outside of that, I mean, there needs to be like a system in place for people where you can defend yourself without a lawyer, and we make it practical, and we make it easy, and we make it, viable. And if you're accused of a crime in Wayne, and if it's a municipal violation, especially, anything where it's directly done at the prosecutor level, at the city level, there needs to be like a legal AI program for pro se defendants, right? You should be, there should be rules. Hey, we're gonna make it mandatory that even before you show up to an arraignment, you're gonna have all your video discovery readily available and ready to go, right? If you're gonna pursue charges and prosecute somebody, we need to start doing things by the books. And the city of Wayne's not that big, and there's not that many fucking cases, and we can do it. We can implement it, and we can set an example for the rest of the state of Michigan. This is how it's supposed to be done, right? How it's supposed to be done is you're supposed to have discovery early and often, and you should have a viable chance to represent yourself pro se, and basically we should make it to where people's rights are, you know, like I said, maybe we err too much and we give people, you know, we enforce their rights too much, which I don't think that's even a thing, but you know, I'd rather err on the side of people's rights than err on the side of violating them. And so I think that we need to take measures that are a little maybe they look extreme, but they're really not. I mean, the bottom line is you're probably know more about your case than your public defender does, or even a paid lawyer. You'll probably get a better result with a public defender or a paid lawyer, or by yourself, than you would with those two options, especially if you have a competent legal AI program that can you know, analyze and cite properly and file motions for you. Well, not for you, but it can help you draft motions, and you can help to, you know, do your research to make sure that those motions are valid to the best of your knowledge. And you know, there's so many things that ordinary everyday people that aren't legal savvy could do, and it'd give them a fighting chance. And obviously there's no incentive for the city of Wayne to want to do, you know, anything like that, right? Obviously. So, you know, I want to basically enforce the law so well that the city of Wayne loses too much money. We're basically like, hey, we're going to respect people's rights to the point to where the city of Wayne is going to lose money from it. A lot of money, because, you know, a lot of the city of Wayne's money is obtained through violating people's rights and, you know, fabricating evidence, fabricating probable cause, not disclosing discovery, you know, making people jump through a million rings of fire to get, you know, what they're entitled to get, which they're supposed to get by default, right? Yeah, there's just things that we can do at a local level where, you know, we can implement and try, and hopefully, you know, they have a positive and a good result in the favor of residents and taxpayers, because that's all I care about. The municipal corporation that is the city of Wayne, Michigan, that's not who I owe my allegiance to. I owe my allegiance to the people, to the taxpayers who fund it, not to the actual entity itself, right? Not to the workers and the worker bees. No. I owe my allegiance and I owe my loyalty to the taxpayers, to the citizens, to the residents, right? To the everyday working class person, right? I don't, you know, so you know, I don't know what's going to happen, guys. I don't know what all we're going to get done. I mean, we're certainly going to try to get as much done as humanly fucking possible, and you know, we're going to wage as many wars as we can at once, and, you know, we're going to try to do the best we can, right? I mean, we're going to really try to understand that this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a fucking marathon. And it's going to have a lot of twists and turns, and it already has, and that's fine. You're still living in your mom's basement. No, actually, sir. You know, that's kind of a triggering statement there. So I'm glad you said that. We're actually going to we're going to showcase you. So this is the most expensive. This is the highest valued residential lot ever in the city of Wayne, Michigan's history. This is about a $700,000 to a $750,000 piece of land. Of course, we have the pond coming in a month or so, and that's going to, you know, probably increase the value by another, you know, $40,000 or $50,000, maybe more. But no, in fact, I do not live in my mother's basement. I live in this modest house right here. That's my modest car, my Toyota Camry. This is the lot that I have next door. This is my firewood operation. We have we give out a lot of firewood to veterans and to homeless people and people that need it. We also sell it to people that have the means to pay for it. But yeah, guys, I mean, you know, we're here to you know, obviously do the right thing by the people, but, you know, this is kind of how we. Did you buy it at $750? No, I bought it at $400. No, I bought it at $400, and it's went up in value about $300 in a couple of years. So cleared this ravine out. This ravine used to be full of trash and shit and, you know, bullshit trees, and I've cut those down and grinded what stumps I could grind and what I could access. And yeah, I gotta clean it up a little bit more, but looks pretty good. But yeah, that's our firewood operation. That's where Zook Pond's gonna be right there, if you can imagine. That big ass open space right there, that's all gonna be a pond. And yeah, not a bad piece of land out here, if I do say so myself. I bought this property when I was 30 years old, so 30 years old, and I've done modestly well for myself, I have to say. I've certainly surpassed expectations in my family, and not too shabby. But this is my guest house. This is not my dream house. This is my guest house. My dream house is going to be over here one day. It's going to be full walk around deck, walkout basement, ranch. Might even be a 2-story. I don't know. Does the noise from the road bother you? No, not at all. Not at all. This road usually is very quiet, and my house is so well insulated. I have a very insulated garage door, and just doors in general, windows. The whole house is R38, at least R38 with the walls, and yeah, it's built for the long haul. But that's where we had our sign until the city of Wayne, forced us to take it down. But we're gonna put our sign back up. We're gonna put our signs back up. But yeah, that's my little firewood collection there. Got a bunch of wood I gotta split, and got a lot of silver maple. Lots of silver maple to cut up and split up. Here's our little wood splitter operation here. Almost fell down the fucking ravine, just almost broke my ankle. Are the schools good in Wayne? No, not particularly. The elementary schools are pretty decent. The middle school, high school, no, not so much, but they do have a private school that are much better option. But yeah, as of right now, no. It's not the worst. Like Wayne Memorial High School, it's not the worst, but it's not. I definitely wouldn't call it good. It's definitely not a good school. It's definitely got a host of problems, but yeah, the schools leave much to be desired. That's the unfortunate reality. But I like it. I like my little city, and we're gonna make the village of Wayne great again. We're gonna make it back into turn it back into village. Village level services, and hometown feel, and village level feel. And yeah, we really, like I said, guys, we really don't have a choice. We really truly don't. We've got to get this right. Got to get it right, and got to get it fixed. And regardless, right, of what you want to call me, haven't been called wrong. So I do know that much. Haven't been called wrong. Called a lot of things, but not wrong. So kind of strange. I'm so crazy, but I never get accused of being wrong. I get accused of a lot, but never wrong. Never being wrong. Ain't that something? But yeah, that's what we're working on today, guys. We got some firewood that we've split up here. Got to get that round. But yeah, all these rounds got to be split up. This wood's got to be brought to the customer. Yeah, all these rounds have to be split up. And this fucking disaster has to be addressed. So we're going to start addressing this fucking disaster today. So yeah, we're going to get some of this firewood, well, all of this firewood to our customer. This is about a cord and a half, a face cord and a half of wood. So yeah, because I stacked it, it broke. But Yeah, I mean, shit happens, right? I mean, sometimes shit happens, but we got a full face cord nonetheless. But yeah, don't try to double stack them. I learned my lesson. But yeah, fuck some shit up here. Do you contribute to a Roth ROA? No, actually I don't. I know I should though. No, not currently. But yeah, this is what I'm about to go do, guys. Have some fun with it and get all this fucking firewood out of here. Fix those racks that got busted up. Build some more racks. I need to build some more racks. There's my other fire pits. We're gonna put another fire pit. We're gonna have 4. So I probably shouldn't do this because I know the bums are watching, but fuck them. So we're gonna put our fire pit right here. We already have one right here, and we're gonna put another one between this one and that one over there. We're gonna put one about right. I don't know if you can see that little plastic piece right there, but somewhere in the middle over there, we're gonna put the last one. That's our little rack. It's a little short. It's only 7 foot. That's not a full cord, but oh well. Got some wood we gotta burn. Take a look at the creek, guys. Take a look at the creek. Ooh, I gotta get that out of the creek. My mat got. Oh man, that ain't good. That ain't good. See my copper mat there? My cooking mat fell into the drain here. That ain't good. That ain't good. Yeah, you're young, it's never too late. Yeah, I know, right? Oh man, look at that. I just busted my fucking face. Damn near, I busted my ass on the ground there. Ow, that fucking hurt so bad. Wow. But, ow. I got the mat though. Fuck, that hurt. I just hit my head and everything. See it right there, guys? I just slipped and fell. Busted my fucking ass. Damn. Ow. Fuck, that hurt. Yeah, I think I may be concussed right now. I might be concussed now. Fuck, man. Ouch. That did not fucking feel good. Normally doesn't when you fall down. Bust your ass, but yeah, that one, ouch. So, yeah, always use the right equipment. Not these fucking stupid ass fucking shoes I got on. But oh well. Show must go on. Show must go on. So yeah, we're gonna go do the damn thing today. Ah, that fucking hurt though, man. I'm not gonna lie. That fucking hurt, guys. Ow. But yeah. Didn't drop the monster though. Crushed it up a little bit. But unleash the beast, baby. So yeah, guys. What do you think? Zook Pond, baby. Zook Pond. Coming soon. I know it looks a little crazy right now, but I promise we're going to get it all cleaned up. I promise you, people. We're going to get it looking good. But yeah. I got to go take some fucking Tylenol because my head hurts. I literally hit the back of my head. But I didn't drop the monster. I didn't drop the blunt. So... at least I got my priorities right, you know? Yeah, my shoes all fucking muddy though. Oh well. We won today, who cares? I could break my neck today and it's still been a good day. Just because of what happened earlier today in the 35th District Court. And a lot of our grass is starting to come in. Yeah. Fire truck just went by. But yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. Did you know Zook personally? No, not personally. I didn't know him. Distinguished veteran, I will say. So, yeah, good guy.